Hello everyone, welcome to Current Affairs Analysis series by Annamaya IAS Academy. Today's topic is an extension of the recent tragedy which is related to the overall aircraft security in India. The tragedy, as you know, on June 12th, Air India flight 171 has crashed into BJ Medical College hostel. It claimed the lives of 260 people. Yesterday, we got a crash report which gave little more insights on what might have caused this crash. This is the reason we've taken up this topic. We need to examine everything that has caused this crash broadly. What happened before, how did airlines evolve from that, so that we can avoid such tragedies in future. And again, I need to emphasize that I am not making any definitive statements in this entire presentation because we are awaiting for further reports. So this is a broad analysis, so please watch till the end. So I am briefly telling you what happened to the flight. So according to the reports in the news, the aircraft lifted off at 1:38 p.m. and within 3 seconds the fuel switch got cut off. Here is where the entire controversy is going on in the crash report. Next, there is a certain conversation that was recovered between the pilot and the co-pilot, but whatever happened, they could not revive the engines, they could not restart the engines, and the plane crashed. Now, key findings. Here, please understand that the next few slides, UPSC is not going to ask what exactly happened here in this fuel cutoff and everything. But while you are reading topics like this, it's important to analyze all these aspects so that you can understand what happened and so that you can give better suggestions, have a better understanding of the topic. So briefly I am telling you, the entire controversy is related to the fuel cutoff and switch activation. They are saying that from run to cutoff the switches have moved automatically. We don't know what happened as of now, and experts are citing mechanical issues, not human issues. And even there are no indications of external damages like fire or a bird crash or anything. Next, this is a known advisory on fuel design. Here, please focus. In 2018, AIIB referenced an FAA advisory about fuel switch. So this happened in 2018, and Air India reportedly did not implement an inspection following that advisory. So this shows the overall inspection ecosystem in India as a whole, not just in aircraft industry. So I am not saying again that this is the reason that led to the crash, but even small advisories like this should not be ignored. Again, so experts like Air Marshal Sanjeev Kapoor, they are also raising questions on the credibility of these reports, and we don't want to get into further controversies, so let's end it here. In the end, no matter what experts say, the Airline Pilots Association and the families of the victims, they deserve answers, and they deserve answers fast. Now, way forward. In this way forward, from here on is where you can include the points that I give you in all the 4 GS papers. Here is the UPSC angle of this particular news. So here I have covered all stakeholders, where they are going wrong and what can be done to avoid such tragedies in future. To begin with, the regulatory authorities. So the regulatory authorities, they enforce safety and regulation standards. So here please emphasize on the words that I have highlighted in red. So these are the regulatory authorities. So you can just take a look at their full forms, when they were formed. They can be potentially asked in prelims, like a match the following or something. Now, yeah, regulatory authorities, this is one area where we can bring the highest and impactful change. We need enforcement and strict safety audits. Then we need to impose penalties for maintenance. And we know the story of regulatory authorities in India. Again, bureaucracy, red tapeism, everything comes here. So a successful example, if you want me to quote, it's after Alaska Airlines door plugging incident, FAA mandated inspections globally. This has significantly reduced such kind of mechanical errors in aircraft. Now airlines and operators. In airlines especially, operators are different and aircraft manufacturers are different, just so you can get a background. So in maintenance, training and SOP support is where airlines and operators come in picture. Now here we need proactive maintenance, not just routine inspections. So what happens is that routine inspections, there is a protocol, at this time you need to inspect this aircraft and everything, but we need proactive maintenance. Like we should be able to predict what can happen. We need to be continuously monitor and predict the next disasters, predict potential areas where things can go wrong, so that these fatalities can be avoided. And here again we need to actively employ data analysis and artificial intelligence. So here a successful example is Indigo. Indigo's flight safety awareness app. This allows them to anonymously report such irregularities even if the pilot and the co-pilot are not well, or they are under psychedelics, or complaints against the crew and everything. This is proven to aid in the maintenance of aircraft. Now the manufacturers. See, manufacturers is where this entire all the fingers are pointing towards. So let's understand this. So this is aircraft design, manufacturing and post-sale support. For third world countries, post-sale support is very little. It is expensive, first thing, post-sale support, the maintenance and staff and everything. Reportedly, this is ignored in third world countries. Now, here what we need to do is we need to strengthen quality control during production, use digital twin technology. And apart from all these points, again here I have given another example of multiple MAX 8 crashes of Boeing. This Air India 171 aeroplane is also a Boeing aeroplane. Now here I request the viewers to go through one video where Boeing manufacturer was called to the US Senate and they were excellently questioned. So I am not giving any conclusions here, the reports are further awaited. So since past 5 years there are reports of multiple aircraft failures and the reports of software updating and all. This is how a legislator should be. I love that video. This is how the legislature should be. This is how a legislature should question the manufacturers and the capitalists who play with the security of citizens, normal citizens. So please take a look at that video. Normal people like us can't do all that. Next is pilots and crew. So there is for crew and pilots there should be regular training, regular skill updatation and all. And here there is an interesting point: avoid flying under pressure, fatigue or psychological stress. This point was not there before. A couple of decades ago this was not there. It was only entered after a tragic incident again involving a pilot under severe depression. So I think it's only recently that we started accepting depression and mental health issues as a part of our lives and jobs and started addressing them. So this is why we need to analyze such incidents, not just for UPSC but for society as a whole, so that we can identify such mistakes and avoid repeating them. So yeah, this is one thing, proper mental health diagnosis needs to be done. So here clear crew communication and hierarchical balance of cockpit decisions are needed, especially after Tennefer airport disaster. Even in this particular case, they are pointing towards certain hierarchical imbalance in the cockpit, given that someone, the person who's supposed to fly wasn't flying and someone else was making the decision and all. Let's not jump to any conclusions, but the hierarchical balance is needed, especially in something as important as a cockpit. Next, air traffic controls. Air traffic controls is where we can actively employ artificial intelligence and data analysis. So this comes in the backdrop of increasing air traffic and increasing private planes and private helicopters. So yeah, in 2024 there was such accident due to air traffic controls in Tokyo. It was again resolved through tighter ATC pilot coordination thereafter. So yes, here we can actively employ technology to score not just for air traffic, to better predict weather, to better predict changes in terrain and everything. Next, at last comes international bodies. So they set global standards. Now here what we broadly study are what I've given, USOP and Chicago Convention. These are what we traditionally write in the answers. So yeah, they need to create global databases and international standards and everything. Here also there is another dimension to it. Every regional cooperation group, like you take it BIMSTEC or SCO, SEO or ASEAN, everyone is focusing on tourism particularly. In this focus means that there will be greater emphasis on aeroplanes, there will be greater emphasis on air travel, especially in terrain like the Himalayan terrain or the Central Asian terrain. We need better coordination among international bodies so that we can map them properly and we can avoid any further accidents. So this is our take on aircraft safety broadly. You can use these topics across all 4 GS papers, and I sincerely hope the victims get an answer soon. Thank you.